Like, it's crazy, man. Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Assimilation Podcast. I go by the name of MJ Mpoyi, and today I'm actually joined with a friend of mine whom I asked to join me on the podcast just to kind of share her experience, because we both come from African countries and we came to study abroad. But I just wanted to share the experience. Is it recording? Yeah. Perfect. I just wanted to for her to kind of share her experience of coming abroad and how things has been going, because a lot of people have been asking me to kind of let them know about how things are going and how I'm actually living abroad and how I'm not lonely if I'm lonely and how I've been taking everything. So I kind of brought her on the platform to just have a conversation about how everything has been going. And her name is Amara. Amara, thank you so much for joining me on this platform today.
No problem.
When I actually invited you, what did you think the conversation was going to be like?
I don't know, so I got the message.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's crazy because we were talking about a similar project. Well, not really a similar project, but something I was working on.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, maybe he wants to do something in regards to a topic that I was talking to him about. And that was in terms of like business, leadership.
Yeah, but the thing with the topic, it was about feminism or something like that.
Yes, it was. I wouldn't say that was like the final topic I had in my mind.
Yeah.
But I assumed you wanted to talk about something so serious. So I was like, I don't know what to expect, you know?
And that's the thing, right? People kind of think that when I say, please come on the platform, it's not that serious. I know maybe I put out myself the way I put myself out. I say maybe like the platform is a voice for young people, and we are only going to be explaining about how life has been, how we've seen life to really be like. But it's not that serious. It's not like it's not an exam. I think people make it sound like when you're gonna come on the platform, it's gonna be like a question, and then if you're wrong, the entire world is kind of, which is everybody's been worried about their image and affiliating themselves with a certain brand. I'm like, guys, we're still young. Nobody actually cares about you. That's like, it goes back to the kind of thing about, when people were like crazy about the information being sold out to something about Facebook and the private. I'm like, what could you possibly have on your phone that you don't want somebody else to see?
Your bank details, maybe. Aren't you like the kind of people who save your passwords on your notes? Like,
yeah, but it's not like they're gonna steal it. They're just seeing it.
I mean, personally, I did not take the option of sharing my details.
Why not?
I don't know. I think it's a bit odd. Like,
what do you mean it's odd in what way? Because when I think about it, the only thing that is crazy about it is like if they're using it to selling it to somebody else. That's when I want a share of the money, because I'm a businessman. But other than that, it's like I wouldn't really care, because people have been using it for algorithm. I mean, that's how they feed us. We see these different feeds on YouTube, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, because they save the algorithm, or they save the things that we usually go and search for. So it's been like that, because I feel like it won't make a difference. Do you think it won't make a difference?
I mean, I understand, and when I tried to read like more into it, I was like, okay, the point essentially is to try and suit you best with content that you mostly like look into and feed
attracted to mostly.
But I don't know. I don't want to be those kind of people who are like, okay, this is another step closer into letting technology take over us a bit more. But I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm not that invested into it, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, man, let's get right into business while we came to do the podcast. But that was just how I felt about it, because I wouldn't mind, but I mind if they're selling it to somebody else, because if you're using it to like kind of feed me with what I'm looking for, I get that. But if you're going to sell it to somebody else, then I have a problem with that. But anyway, how was it like? What made you to come and study abroad? Like, have you always wanted to come and study abroad, or because for me it was more like I've always wanted to come and study abroad, and so I actually wanted to come and graduate high school abroad, but I actually never got the chance to. So, and then when it was time to go to university, I actually refused to go to university in South Africa, and I told myself I was only going to go to university abroad. How was it for you? How was the experience for you?
For me, it's a bit different. So I think from a lot or most of my childhood, I've kind of traveled and I've seen many countries.
Oh, okay.
Up until I'd say the last 4 or 5 years, I settled in Kenya for a while. And I think towards my last few years of high school, because I was doing the British system, we would have talks on like universities abroad. So I think my brain was kind of wired towards applying to those universities anyway. It's not like I didn't have a choice to apply to local Kenyan universities, but
what was your first option? You just wanted to leave?
My first option was not Belgium.
Oh, okay.
My first option was going to any country that would be best suited for my bachelor course.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing a BA in International Affairs, as you know.
Yeah.
And so my first choice was actually the Netherlands.
Whoa.
Because I was like The Hague, being in proximity to that, having professors who work there.
Oh, okay.
In terms of looking at my life post-uni, because that's another thing students don't think about. When you're choosing the country to go to, you need to think about your life post-uni, because you are in a different country on a student visa. That's going to end. You're going to go back home. And if you're thinking about the next 2-3 years post your life, you need to know that you're not doing like medicine in a knockoff country that, okay, but medicine actually thrives everywhere. But what I'm trying to say, most people go to the UK, right?
Yeah.
But your course may not be best suited to your university, and your course might also not be best suited to the city you're in, or in general the country you're in.
Yeah.
So later on, I stumbled across Belgium. I liked the whole being close to the EU.
Okay.
We benefit a lot from the professors we have on campus. And then also, Belgium is the center of Europe, you know.
Literally the heart of Europe.
You can travel literally everywhere in such a small amount of time. So, yeah, why Belgium?
My first option was in Belgium as well. But the second option, actually, I was open to wherever. I just wasn't like open to studying home.
Why though?
Because I know the advantages that it has, not only in the academic spectrum, but also in life as well. Because I've seen a lot of people like come and study abroad and how they turn out to be. And for me, I take that of value, you know. For instance, I am here, and the whole thing is I liked about it was going away from family and actually learning to vouch for myself and to look out for myself and not having to depend on someone to tell you, hey, you got to do this, hey, you got to do that. So that was, for me, the most thing that I valued about like coming to study abroad. But apart from that, it was like I wanted to learn new culture. I wanted to be exposed to new people, new way of thinking, new way of being. And for me, that's what even makes it even easier for me to like be in Belgium, because most of the things that people do here, it's very different from home. But like since you're here, you gotta adapt, you know. You have no choice but to adapt and be like, oh, okay, this is their way of doing things, this is their way of being, this is their way of how they deal with problems. Because back home, let's be honest, we do everything. We might say we have the law, we have the intellectuals, we have the wokeness, but most of the things are we still go back to the roots and how elderly people or the ones before us did a few things.
Like a traditional way of thinking.
Literally.
But I have a question. When you say back home, do you refer to Congo or to South Africa?
I refer to Africa. I think I'm in touch with Africa as a whole, because a lot of cultures in Africa, we have similar things, especially like coming from Congo. When I was in Congo, when I was in Zambia, right? Most of the language I could have understand, and most of the food, we share the food. Like, we would eat the same thing, but we'll just have a different name for it.
Right.
So I think I'm in touch mostly with, when I say back home, I mean Africa as a whole. Literally.
Okay. I get that, but going back to one thing you said.
Yeah.
About the whole you feel like you would have thrived here more.
Yeah.
I get that to a certain extent, right? But I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think that's a very westernized
way
opinion to have.
Why?
Because you're kind of coming from a lens that Africans are not as civilized as
no.
think.
That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, I wanted to be exposed to a new way of thinking.
Okay, that's
basically
fine.
Yeah, basically, like, the way we do things, I want
it's
to see a different.
Different.
Yeah, very different, very much different.
That makes sense.
But how was it for you, like, coming into Belgium and actually getting integrated into the culture and the country as a whole?
It's funny because I actually fit in I fitted in really quickly.
Are you serious?
It's almost scary because I mean, obviously the whole moving in process is really hard. Like, I've never done it before. I'm really young.
Yeah.
But I think because I had been looking forward to it for so long, I kind of just pushed myself as soon as I was here to be like in touch with everything really quickly. But it's also the way I was raised, right? So growing up, my parents would tell us, like, by age 18, you need to leave. You need to leave.
For real?
You need to leave. So I think
that's crazy.
Up, I was just like, okay, I'm alone. Like, this is the start of a new life.
Yeah.
But I think another thing that really helped was language.
Oh, okay.
So
you can speak French, right?
I speak French, English, and Swahili.
Oh, okay.
My French is not as fluent as my English, as you know, but if you need to get around, like, I'm able to. So from the airport to my place to buying things to...
Whoa, you had no one to rely on, like, from the airport to your place?
No.
You used an Uber from the... Like, you have no siblings whatsoever? Like, no relatives? You lie.
Everyone finds that so
you
odd,
lie.
But genuinely, I feel like I relate a lot to what you said about like wanting to kind of just like see that or like get that sense of independence.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose Belgium, because I have nobody here.
Whoa, that's dangerous, bro.
I did it all by myself, but I think another thing that helped was pushing yourself. Like, I used to be someone who was really like kept to myself. So the first few weeks of the first semester were really hard because like I don't approach people first, but I got that when I saw you.
I got that when I saw you.
You kind of have to go out there and talk to people.
Yeah.
So I think I'd say just fake it till you make it, kind of.
That's one of the saying my brother liked to say, actually. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Like, you might be here and you may not feel like this is the place for you, but just lie to yourself. Wake up in the morning and be like, today I'm going to eat a Belgian dish or something.
That's crazy.
Like, another thing is I don't drink beer. But since arriving in Belgium, I was like, okay, I will start now. So I'm just saying, like, try and push yourself, or
which is crazy. They have like I don't know how many types of beers they have,
right?
But it's crazy. I actually haven't tasted.
How is it for you though? Like moving in, like
I kind of knew people here. My father had like a friend who lived here, and I also have a church community, so it was easier for me to get integrated, even though like it might have been hard because I'm away from home, but I kind of had a community to rely back on, like the church community.
Oh, that's nice.
I could talk to them. Like if I didn't know anything, I could like ask. But being me, I wanted to be independent. I depended on myself. Like you said, it was just one morning I woke up and I was like, I'm going to find where my school is, my university is. And then I found myself here. Yeah. And then I remember going back home, which is a funny story. I remember going back home, right? So basically they gave me like the lady, like the landlord where I was staying, she fell for me. She was like, okay, he's new. She gave me a ticket, right? Like a train ticket, like the steep ticket, right? And you could basically, for those watching that don't know what the ticket is for, you can like use it in the Brussels area on each and every transport. But she gave me and didn't tell me that there was only one journey left on that ticket. Oh. So basically I came with it up until uni, but while going back, I'm like, I remember I walked for so long up until I told myself, you know what? Because I remember the train station was there, but I'm like, I can't go back in the train station because I tried it and it went dun dun and I got off. Not knowing, being new in Brussels, not knowing that you can just, continue and nobody's going to like care if, but me being me coming from, Africa, I put it went, dun, dun, I got off, and I'm like looking, because I went to the machine, it couldn't take no coins, and I'm like, so how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? I'm trying to ask people don't know also. They like, put your card there, you're supposed to reload it. I tried doing that, it doesn't work. So I'm thinking like, how am I going to do it? I ended up walking for 30 minutes. Which to me was normal because where I'm from, we walk for like, You
walked from uni back home.
Literally. Like, I had no choice because I was too afraid of like being there because I didn't know what would happen if you. So I'm like, I got off and then I just walked.
Okay.
And mind you, it was like super cold at that time, but what choice did I have? I just walked home.
Wow. I mean, I feel like being here for a while now, a 30-minute walk isn't too bad.
I think it's bad since I've been here for a while.
Honest, I don't think it's that bad because in Kenya I could never do that.
For real?
Like, and I think
it's the other way around actually.
No, and I think that's why we're a bit different.
Yeah.
Because the luxury lifestyle among the youth is insane. Like I live 15 minutes away from here. Yeah. And I walk every morning.
To here?
Yeah.
You lie.
It's not too bad. 15 minutes is
I couldn't. I was actually
No, deep. I was actually 15 minutes is not too bad.
Okay, for me, since I've been living here and the weather we have here, it's bad.
So
like
if it's one bus ride, like one stop, you will take the bus.
Definitely.
These are the kind of people who don't care about climate change, yeah.
No, the thing is, I wouldn't take the bus if the bus is late, if it's gonna make me late, because I usually do that even where I live right now. Like, if the bus is gonna make me late, I just walk to the metro station. But like, if the bus is coming and I know it's coming, I'm taking that bus, even if it's like just 500 meters from the metro station. So, and I have like a few friends. I don't know if you've met her, Nicole.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, she walks from, because we kind of stay in the same area, and she walks. I've always been trying to tell her like, why do you keep walking? It doesn't make sense. And
from Montgomery.
Yeah, imagine.
No, God forbid.
And she's like, you need to exercise. And I'm like, no ways. So,
right, back to what I was saying. In Kenya, I could not do a 15-minute walk.
You see, that's different from me. In South Africa, we used to do like a 45-minute walk. No. Like, I remember before, like when I started high school, because in primary school, they always make sure to like pick us up from school. But when I started high school, it used to be a 45 to 50-minute walk back home. And to me, that was a normal, because, you'd be with friends, you'd be talking, and before you know it, you'll be home, And that, I think that one, it was worse. That one was worse because I walked on the hot sun each and every flipping 2 p.m. I used to walk back home. But here, I think it's almost like a mentality change. You get adapted to certain things and a certain way of being, and you're like, oh man, working is, you kind of feel like it's a whole job. But being back home, I think I'll still do it.
Right.
To trying to save money. But for me here, it's like, I've already paid for like an entire year transport, so I might as well use it.
And I think that's the cultural difference.
Literally.
But then you also need to understand that these guys have like really proper public transport as compared to what we had. So
I've been trying to tell everyone that actually people here, I see like when the bus is late like 2 minutes, they start complaining. I'm like, you could be glad you even have it. Where I come from, nobody cares. When like the train is late, when it's it's like when it's there, it's there. When it's not there, who cares? And it's I try to understand it, but hey man. But what are the few challenges that you've had so far, like living on your own or being a university student?
The first challenge I had was the transport thing.
Yeah.
So I was heading to Port de Namur.
Yeah.
But then I didn't have a STIB card. It was my second day in Belgium.
Yeah.
So I assumed, you could probably just pay cash on the bus.
Yeah.
I hop onto the bus, and the driver looks at me and my coins, and I was just like, and he was just like, no, and I was just like, what does no mean? So I asked people, and everyone, I'm not gonna lie, like I think Belgian people are kind of friendly, actually.
Yeah.
As compared to typical French people. Yeah. So, I mean, some people tried to help, but it wasn't like that useful. So I just ended up going back home. I didn't get my things. Whoa. But another struggle for me was shopping. At home, you're benefiting from your mom's shopping.
Like she would do everything.
And now you kind of have to budget for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the financial independence was a struggle at first because I think another thing that we're not taught in high school and stuff is the whole saving.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to learn that, but it wasn't too bad. I'm not too greedy with money and stuff, so.
I actually struggled also with the finances part because I was always I didn't know when to put money away. I actually still struggle with that. Okay. I put everything in one jar and then just start taking from that jar. Up until it's remaining when when you have sweets, like a little child, when it remains two, then you're like, I'll think about tomorrow. Maybe I'll want to eat it tomorrow or the Friday next or because it's, as much as I kind of say it, because before I used to have this thing of I'd have different jars back home, and each and every week I'll kind of put a coin into each and every jar, and then by the time it's at the end of the week, because I had a different jar for a different purpose. I'd have cool. Going out, this is what I'm trying to buy. But ever since I've been here, everything is in the bank, and I'm too lazy to And you can't make separate bank accounts. It will be ridiculous. No. But so I keep everything in one jar, and then I just start taking. And then when maybe it remains 200, maybe I should think of tomorrow.
And you're ready to pay too.
Literally. So when you start thinking of that, I think this year I'm starting to do better because I'm starting to cook at home.
I remember you told me
it's the biggest challenge I had actually.
I remember you told me that order food out every day.
Literally.
And I said, what a life.
It's because I was always tired. I was always tired, And I remember when I came, I think it was during COVID, and everything was pretty much cheap, still cheap at that time. But now I can't order because obviously everything became expensive. And now I'm kind of figuring how this life thing really is. But back then it was kind of cheap. And you have to understand where I lived, it was far. I lived outside of Brussels at that time.
Right.
And then each and every time I would go back home, I'd take an hour or an hour of 30 minutes just being on my way home. So you might find that I have a class and then it ends late, and then when I have to go back home, I'm too tired for that.
Right.
I can't even do anything but just to get home and want to sleep or just want to chill. Because I remember when I was living outside of Brussels, I used to make sure that I get everything done on campus because I knew how lazy I was. When I get home, all I want to do is sleep and think about the next day. So that had me like, I used to buy already pre-made stuff, buying, a lot of takeaways because it made my life easier. But now, since the dynamics and the financials are really like kicking in, I have to think about like getting groceries for the entire week and then having to cook and actually tell myself, yo, you're not supposed to be spending so much money like this. You're supposed to be saving and putting away money. So I think that's kind of my struggles, the struggles that I went through.
I'm not going to lie, I get that because to a certain extent, I do cook. I cook proper meals at home, but it gets rough. And once you go back into like uni lifestyle, you're going to get home so tired. Like
literally.
So
I remember like when I was during the holidays, because I was working during the holidays, I was still tired. And I told myself, Mutombo, you told yourself, when you're gonna be in holidays,
you cook.
So I found myself like holding myself accountable for my actions, and then that actually started bettering how I function, how I put away money. And I still don't know how to put away money into different brackets. I still leave it all in one jar, but now I guess my spendings are different, because obviously now life is tough, everything is expensive. Everybody's complaining about, money and stuff. But yeah, those are like the few challenges that I faced. So how did you studying abroad impact your personal academic growth? How would you say, did it make it better? Because you went to a private school, but I come from a public school. How was the experience going, or how is the experience going for you?
That's a good question. Because back home, I was always like a straight A student kind of thing. And I think everyone says like, you really know how smart you are until you come to uni.
For real?
Yeah, it's true. Because like at home, like it's a small high school. Like when you come to uni, you meet like lots of like really smart people from across the world.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, that shattered my confidence at first. Because I would sit in class.
Yeah.
I mean, not all my classes, but I would sit in some classes, and I just wouldn't know some things, and I hadn't been used to that for a while.
Yeah.
And I think because with having a whole perfectionist like kind of mindset, of course that's going to bring you down.
Yeah.
But then I realized that's more of a learning experience rather than like something to put you down, because I think the education system and the whole way that exams are set out to be, it's more of a competition thing, more than trying to better yourself.
Literally.
So now I find myself sitting in classes, feeling much more at ease, knowing much more to say, because I kind of changed the whole thing of like, I'm kind of dumb in this module, so I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm not gonna like participate in class or anything. And I took it more as of go out there, like meet people who probably are much more knowledgeable on that topic. Talk to people, read things, and that's how people grow, honestly. Personally, I think I've built a lot of confidence, because I think being in small interactive classes kind of has to make you just, speak out. At home, I don't know if it's the same for you. But there's a bit of a culture where like people are kind of silenced, because if you say something, you never know how it's gonna take other people. So I feel like not academically but socially, I have definitely built like the upper step, because I'm not gonna lie, this life is short and I need to do things that I love. I need to do things that I enjoy. I need to step out of my comfort zone because
literally
I've only been here 5 months and
it's only been 5 months.
It's only been 5 months, and
Whoa. I've been here longer.
If I start to list everything that has flown to me because of stepping out of my comfort zone, I'm grateful to...
Like you really stepped out of your comfort.
I did, because I mean, I don't even want to dive too much into that, but
yeah,
genuinely everything that you want is sitting on the other side of fear.
Whoa, that's deep.
Because I don't know if you've talked about it on your podcast, but even like the job you had last semester, that was not like a common student job to have, like working in a restaurant or something.
Literally.
If you kept that in your head, you wouldn't have gone to apply for that. You wouldn't have persevered through the whole time.
Literally.
And that's the same with me, because I've reached out to people, I've reached out to organizations, but that I know if I hadn't been in a position where I kind of needed to step out of my comfort zone, I definitely would not have, if that makes sense.
Literally. I share that. I think my experience is different because like I am mostly academic. Like I know exactly what to do, but I guess it's different here because obviously, like, I won't lie, these are the most essays that I've written in my life, like in my entire life. Like every single assignment is an essay. Like I don't understand where I found myself most of the time I would write more than I talk, which is crazy. Like I would be quiet, and then most of the things that I want to get out, you have to write an essay and actually be creative on that essay, be academic on that essay, do an academic research. I found that to be the most hard part because I remember back in high school, even when it came to doing research, it wasn't like writing a paper in APA because I come from a public school. Like we don't know what's that. We don't even. I remember we never used to study with laptops. It was never a thing. So it's like for me, that I think was a challenge to me. But apart from that, I think academically, like taking in the information, I don't think that was a problem. I think the technology part of it, like, and the skill of learning how to do proper research, I think that was a problem. And I think for me, I've bettered myself because obviously my marks can tell that I've bettered myself because they're good, but that was the most challenging, I guess. And I think that's the growth that I've seen because most of the things that we kind of talk about in my major, it's like things that you already know. It's like just enhancements. They're giving you guys enhancements like on certain things that you've known or certain things that you've read about. It's just they're adding on to what you've learned, what you've heard. And that's the reason why I say I enjoy what I do or what I'm currently studying because I don't know if it's supposed to be hard, but I love the fact that it's not that hard and it's not giving you a headache where you get to be like, no, man, why the hell did I pick this course? You know?
And some of the modules are really interesting as well. I don't think it's much to do with being in uni abroad, but uni in general, like you get to do so many units and like modules that are actually so interesting. They may not help you in your line of work per se, but just like personally, I think that's what I've really enjoyed being in university about.
Literally.
Just like the whole of learning a whole bunch of different things.
How would you say you're holding back with people back home, like your friends? How would you say you're keeping the connection running? Because you haven't probably been back home ever since you've been here, right?
To be honest, it's been okay.
They're not acting funny or anything like that?
No.
Nobody's acting funny or for real? Okay.
But the thing is, I get why you're asking that. But for me, I keep like a very small, tight circle.
Oh, okay.
And once I start to feel that like something is iffy in our friendship, I thrive a lot on energy and like
Whoa, like, we come back to this generation of energy.
Everybody with energy. A lot on like energy and what people are giving to me. And if it's like bad vibes, I'm sorry. Like I'll cut you off, and that's probably why I think my maintaining my friendships has been okay, because everyone that I'm still in touch with back home, or like everywhere else that everyone else has gone to, I talk to them very often, and most of my friendships are very low maintenance. Like I don't need to talk to you every day or like every day, but I do check.
So I need to also get low maintenance friendships.
Yeah, maybe you do, man, because I don't know, just like letting your friends know that you still care for them, and you still want to know how they're doing.
Yeah, I guess
it's worked for me.
I'm a loner naturally. That's one thing I had to like tell myself and accept it, because I found myself like I don't have a lot of friends. Yeah. I have a lot of acquaintances, like a lot. Yeah. So like I kind of had to tell myself like, no man, these people are acting like this because they were just acquaintances, you know. They were reacting to the fact that you guys went to a certain location every day and you guys found yourselves in that location. They had no choice but to talk to you. They were acquaintances, they were not friends. But my friends have definitely stuck around. Like I still have friends that I talk to till this day. Like we would catch up for hours on the phone. Yeah. But obviously, I guess I had to tell myself like the people that acted funny, they weren't really your friends. They were just the acquaintances. It was like Monday we're all at school. I'm just gonna see this guy again. I might as well, you know, talk to him, not to make things awkward.
Don't you think that's also the same thing as uni though? Because you meet so many people, you work with so many people, and sometimes people mistake like that professional closeness to be friendship.
I think with uni it's different. Because I think it's different. I know who my friends are. Because I've kind of like had to sit down with my friends. We had lunch, we had dinners, or we had some sort of like connection. Because I have a few people that I've actually sat with like for hours. Yeah. And few people that have actually invited me to their houses, and like we had dinner. I think it goes, I mean, you won't invite somebody into your space if you're not feeling the same way about. So I kind of know who my people are and who are my everyday just hello, hi, how are you? You know, I kind of know. So I think with uni it's different, and I think with uni it's gonna be most of the friendships that are gonna last. It's not just gonna be high school, because in high school most of even the friendships that are long lasting, it's just gonna be a thing of, hey, maybe we should grab lunch together, and then you grab lunch, and then you catch up, and then you go again your separate ways, and then you know it keeps repeating and repeating and repeating.
Yeah, you know? I agree, and that's a good point to make, because I feel the same way. Another way I've like adapted to the whole change is like, I mean, as much as I've found the comfort in myself, like to be alone, like I rarely feel lonely. But like knowing who your friends are and stuff, like just creating that small family for you all over again does help, like, you know, get you through and stuff.
How would you say studying abroad has influenced like your future plans, if you had any? Before you came, how were your future plans? And would you say since you've come, they have kind of like changed?
Good question. So I've only been in uni for a semester. Right?
Yeah.
But a lot has changed. So initially when I came, I didn't really have anything in terms of where I see my future.
Yeah.
But I think being in uni, like being exposed to the things I've been exposed to, has given me much more clarity in terms of where I see myself post-uni.
Yeah.
Obviously, I still have a long way to go. I need to do my internship to discover more.
Yeah.
But I think settling into my first semester has made me realize that I am in the right field. I do enjoy international affairs, but I've also realized that I may want to branch into international law or international humanitarian law.
Interesting. All my friends are into law, actually. Yeah. All my university friends. Yeah. All of you guys are into law. It's like I'm the only guy that's not of the aspiring to be in politics.
Not in the standard.
Literally.
But yeah, I think for me, that's where my head is at as of now.
Yeah.
Future plans, I've really gotten into research. Like, aside from like academically, I think personally I read a lot into things and yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna keep going with the flow and keep seeing like what appeals to me the most. Do you see yourself like maybe starting a business, taking the podcast further?
I think before I came, I had a different mindset to exactly what I was coming to study or what I would like switch to and all. But ever since I've been here, I'm actually currently struggling with it here. Like it's
with what exactly?
It's like the question of what's next?
Yeah.
What now? Okay, we're here, but you know? It's not like I'm losing interest in what I'm studying, but it's like I keep telling myself it just can't be this. I just can't be studying and then that's it. Like I kind of feel like they need, and I've always felt like that in my life. If there's no excitement, life is boring. Life can't be this boring. It needs to be like exciting. What do you
mean by exciting though? Like
exciting, like give me something unexpected. Like for instance, right now, my life is practically coming to uni, going back home, going to work.
Do you not like the routine though?
I never have ever liked routines.
I really find that interesting because I if I don't have a routine, I will fall. Like
no way. I don't like routines at all. Like even eating the same thing the entire week. That's like eating the same. How do you not get bored of eating the same thing the entire week?
You're gonna be those kind of husbands who get angry at your wife.
Not even like give me something to look forward to. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
okay.
I hate it when I can predict my life or my week. Like I want to do something different each and every week and be like, oh, I did that. Oh, I did this. Not like every day, wake up. You need to know that you need to read your material. Okay, you read. Okay, you have this class at this time. You just pitch. And then you go back home. That's boring. Yeah. That's way too boring. So I'm like kind of struggling with like, I don't want to say finding my purpose because it's going to mean like I'm losing a sense of direction. But I know what I'm supposed to be doing. But I just... I'm not satisfied with. I'm like, okay, but what now? What next? And it's like the beginning of the year. I know it might sound terrible, but it's like, okay, I've done all of that. Okay, but what now? What can I do more? What can I do next? And for me, that's like literally at the back of my mind each and every time. Like I've been thinking about that a lot.
I think it's powerful that you actually say that verbally.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people actually struggle with that.
Yeah.
Especially in uni. Like
literally.
I have friends who also say the same and they're like, I just feel like there's more I could be doing.
Literally. Because I'm sorry to cut you off. Like I was thinking, I've been thinking about that and you know, like when you think about certain type of things and you're like, but then what's now? You kind of feel like, okay, am I maybe losing interest in what I'm doing? Do I maybe need to get something else to be doing to maybe kind of find my way again around certain things? And then you're like, but no, I like what I'm doing. Yeah. But why do I feel like this? And there's like, okay, but I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. But why is it not feeling like I'm doing the correct thing? And I struggle with that.
One thing I find is that like, so I want to ask you a question, but before I ask, sometimes when we give people advice, it's hard for us to actually take that advice.
Literally.
Back. So if someone came up to you with literally what you've just said, what do you think you'd like advise them to do? Like if I came up to you and I was like, bro, like I actually feel so stuck. I feel like I want to be doing so much more. I feel like I'm not enjoying.
I think my advice would be crazy.
What would you say to someone?
I don't want to say it because that would be in my mind right now. So it would be crazy. Like I'll literally tell them like take time off, go around, go all around, do different things, and see what makes you happy, and then come back.
Okay, then take it.
But I can't. I'm in uni. Like the semester just started. You can't just take time around, go around, and then come back to center again, and then start like
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to like. I don't want to say it's not exciting what I'm currently doing, but uni is not exciting. Let's be honest. It's just like you need to be here to.
For the degree. We're dying for the degree.
You know, so like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe I should take like some time, go around, try different things and different adventures, and then come back to center and then think about it. Because like sometimes I even had it. I'm like, sometimes I wake up. I'm like, so I'm just supposed to go to work and then come back and then redo it all again. Then I'm like, but no, something is missing. You know, why am I feeling like this? And it's, I don't know, man. Maybe it will get better, but that's where I'm at with the whole thing of like having to be living alone, maybe, and being integrated and doing my own thing, literally.
Makes sense.
Yeah. What would your advice be for somebody that is like trying to come and study abroad?
Go for it.
For real?
Honestly, go for it.
I think
if you want to go to study in Antarctica, go.
you're not even going to think of the weather. You must just go.
Do you know what the thing is? I think going back to what I said.
Yeah.
Leaving home.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be physically home, but
yeah.
even just like personally, leaving what feels like home will always be the best for you, because
like getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you don't know how much you can find out there and you can discover about yourself. Literally. It's funny though when I say that, because the other day I was asked a question like, I'm someone who likes to travel a lot. Yeah. So like, as much as I've been in Belgium for a short time, I've also like traveled to like many different cities and different countries. And someone asked me the other day, do you think you're traveling to like escape like yourself? And I was like, that has nothing to do with me traveling. I just like want to see more. I want to like experience.
Oh, so it has nothing to do with you escaping a certain thing.
It does not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I sit with myself for like every day.
Oh, okay.
24 hours a day. If I was genuinely tired of being alone and in my own mind. Yeah. Trigger warning. I wouldn't be here. I would not be here. But yeah, my point is just that I think it's definitely been a great experience so far. Yeah. From everything I think we've kind of talked about this whole episode, I think as much as there's challenges, it always gets better. Literally.
I think for somebody, my advice would literally also be the same, go for it, because as much as you might think that you still want to be comfortable at home, you don't want to leave your loved ones, it's the same way that you should be out there. Like, we're not saying leave home because you don't love them. Obviously you love them, but like you need to find yourself and you need to like grow as a person. You're not gonna grow if you're always comfortable, if you're always like back home. And I think it's mostly for people that can, it's not a thing of you can't afford it. There's literally like 1,000 organizations handing out like bursaries.
Facts.
Like, be there. So as long as if you want to go outside of your comfort zone and find yourself and grow as a person, I think that is the most precious gift you could give to yourself, literally.
I think exploring your full potential is the best thing you can do for yourself.
Literally.
Like, if you know that you're able to do something, why not do it, man? Like, literally, don't settle in this life. Like, not for people and not for yourself. And not for the things that you can do.
Don't settle in this life. Hey, man. Yeah. Man, we're already on 49 minutes. And it didn't feel like that long, actually.
He said it was going to be a 20-minute episode.
Hey, man. I feel like I enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Of course, I enjoyed it so much.
I think we can wrap up now. Any few words? Where can they follow you if you want them to follow you? Or you want to conserve your image?
Hi guys, if you want to connect with me professionally, my LinkedIn is Amara God.
Professionally, she said.
Yeah. Let me build up those connections. I'm joking. If you want to connect with me on Instagram, my @ is _.amara, AMARA. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, before I wrap up, I just wanted for the class of 2022, the results came out, and I've been seeing how people are reacting to it, and I just wanted to, kind of give out a positive message. Don't let a certain paper determine the person you are. No matter how many times you can fall, you can still get back up. I'm a prime testimony of getting back up. Don't let the result define you. And if you're feeling way too down about the result, you can always talk to someone. You can always talk to your loved ones about it. Be vocal about it. And don't stay to yourself, because as much as you might want to stay to yourself, it's only going to hurt you. You need to talk about it. You need to reach out to the people who you love. And it don't matter. Don't live with the fear of redoing something. The only person that fails in life is the person that fails to try again. Yeah. So be at ease. Don't let a certain paper define the person you are. You are the best thing. You came a long ass way. Imagine from grade R till Matric, you came a longest way, and you still have, there's still so much more for you out there. So I just want to give you guys a shout out. Well done to you guys again, class of 2022. You guys have made it. Welcome to the adult life. Now you guys are going to see how life really is. That was basically my positive note. We've reached the end of the assimilation. We've reached the end of. We've reached at the end of another episode of the Assimilation Podcast. I've been your host, MJ Mpoyi. Up until next time, goodbye.